Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing well. So today we are going to solve one of the most important problem of the lead code in our DSL series. So let's continue. So first let's try to understand what is the question exactly. So question asking about the question is row with the maximum ones. So we have given a m cross n matrix and we have to find the zeroth index position of the row that contain the maximum count of ones and the number of ones in that row. In case there are multiple rows that have the maximum count of 1, the row with the smallest row number should be selected. So it means that we have given a 2D matrix and we have to find out the row which contains maximum number of 1, and we have to return that index along with the number of 1 in that row. In the case if there are multiple rows that have the maximum count of ones, in that case we have to select the smallest row number, and we have to return an array containing the index of the row and the number of ones in that row. So let's understand the question with the example. So this is the example which they have given to us. So let's this is a 2D matrix which can when there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 row are there, and 1, 2, 3, and 6 column are there. So what we can do here, let's see here. In the first row, the number of 1 is 2, right? The number of 1 is 2. In the second row, the number of 1 is 4. And in the third row, the number of 1 is only 1. And in the fourth row, the number of 1 is 0. And in the fifth row, the number of 1 is 5. So out of all the row, the maximum number of 1 contains by row 5, and so we have to return their index, which will definitely be the fourth index, as well as number of ones in that row. So we have to return in this format, like 4 along with the number of 1 in that row. So this is the answer which we have to return. So let's understand how we can solve this question. So the initial approach, the brute force approach which comes in my mind is that what we can do here, we simply traverse each and every row. Along with that, we will uh, along with that we will track of the index with the maximum 1, right? So let's try to solve this question. So what we can do here, firstly we'll comes to first row and we will count the number of 1 in this row. So as we have counted, the number of 1 is 2. So at the I will take two variable. One is max count, which will initially be -1, and one is index, which is also initially I will initialize with the -1. So right, so what we can do here, at the first row we will count the number of 1, which is 2. So what we can do here, we will simply at the first we will check if the current row count, if the current one count is greater than the maximum count. In that case, we will just we will update, as well as we will initialize the index with the front row, which is nothing but 0, right? Now we come to the next second row. Now we will again count the number of 1 here. So 1 1, there are 4 number of row. Then we will check. Now our max count is 2, which is less than the current count. So what we can do here, we just simply update the max count here, as well as we will also update the index where we got this maximum number of 1, so which is 1. Here we store the index value, which is 1. So what we will do next, we just iterate another row. I will come here and we will count the number of 1. So where the number of 1 is 1. So now we'll check, is the maximum count is less than the current count? No, it's not, because the maximum count is has 4 and the current count of 1 is 1. So we'll not update it. Again, we will iterate the next row. Now I will check here. Here the number of 1 is 0. We will check, is it greater than the maximum count? No, it's not. Again, we will iterate with the next row. Now the next row is, in the next row, the maximum number of 1 is 5. Now we'll check, can we update, means the current count is greater than the max count? Yes, it is. So we'll simply update the maximum count as well as the index. So the maximum count here is 5 and the index is 4. So out of all the row, we got our answer. The maximum count of 1 is 5 and that is present on the fourth row. So just simply return this as a result. The index value as well as the count as an answer. So this is our answer. So I hope this approach is clear to you. Let's come on a code editor and try to solve this. So as to save the time, I have already written the code. So I will try to explain each and every line of the code. So at the initially we have like find out the land. Okay, we have find out the number of row as well as the number of column, and we initialize it in the n and m. And we have taken another two variable. One is max count and another one is index. Max count will point out the number of maximum count, maximum number of 1, and index will point the index, where means the row which contains the maximum number of 1. After that, we will this loop will execute the number of rows. We start from the row 0 till the last row, and we have put another variable called current count, which will count the current, which will generally count the current number of 1, current count of the 1 in the current row. So we have execute another while loop, another nested for loop, which will iterate the each and every column of the current row. So it will execute from the column 0 to till the last column, and whenever we got the value is 1, so we'll increment the current count value. After executing this for loop, if the current count of the 1 is greater than the max count, so in that case we will update the max count along with the index value. Now the index in which it will point the where you got the maximum count of 1. So when we have traversed all the row, so at the end we just simply return the index along with the maximum count. So let's execute this code and I hope that will work perfectly. Yes, it has successfully completed the base test case. Let's run for all the test cases. Yeah, it's completely worked. So let's talk about the time complexity of this approach. So as we are using the two for loop, So as you were using the two for loop, so in that case, what will happen? Like as we are using the two for loop, like two nested for loop, so this loop will execute order of n time, and inside this for loop, each row at the one at each row it will execute the m time. So total time complexity is order of m into n. Yeah, so as we were using two nested loop, so the outer loop will execute n time and the inner loop will execute m time, right? The total time complexity is order of n into m. So this is the overall time complexity and this is the optimal solution which we got. So this is the one of the best solution which I will deliver to all of you. So I hope the explanation is clear to all of you. In case if you have any doubt, then just pin a comment. So this is all about for today video. So thank you so much for watching the video, and I will come back with another important video very soon. Till then, bye bye. Take care. Thank you.